Tourism and business officials have literally rolled out the red carpet this week to show off Duluth during the Catalyst Content Festival. They're making the best of things even as Superior Street reconstruction continues in the midst of the festival. Downtown Duluth is literally buzzing with activity and excitement. And that makes Anna Tansky happy. She's the president and CEO of Visit Duluth. And Christy Stokes is the president of the Greater Downtown Council. Thanks to both of you for being here. And Anna, how does this event compare with maybe other events that have taken place in downtown Duluth?
Well, that's a great question because we're so fortunate that this is an incredible opportunity and it's so unique in what it brings to us. So Duluth has an abundance of special events and activities that take place, but this is for us the opportunity to showcase what we have here in a way that we've never been able to do before.
Mm-hmm. Christy, the planning for this has been going on for months and months. What are your first impressions as the festival gets underway?
Well, I think you had mentioned we have Superior Street reconstruction going on, so that was one of the things that we had to really work through and figure out how do we have a little fun with this. We've added some signs out there that even say, "Hey, Catalyst, we have a construction set ready for you." So we want to make sure that they realize this is all signs of progress for our community, and we're growing and we're trying to prepare for this. But just initial reaction to the festival itself is it's fun to see the excitement. I just sat in on one of the documentaries, or two of them, and it was just really fun to be able to watch that and be able to see some of the excitement that's going on here.
What are your agencies doing to support the festival?
Well, we've had a lot of synergy between many partners here in Duluth, which is what has also been so impressive to the organizers because they don't usually see this type of collaboration. But Visit Duluth was involved in the very early stages along with the Upper Minnesota Film Office in the very first introduction of our community, doing site inspections, bringing the organizers here to really see firsthand that everything they were hearing was even better when they saw it in person.
And I think it's really about providing those connections. I think back about a month ago, we were at an event and Philip was at the event with us, the executive director of Catalyst, and he needed to connect with two property owners, and it just so happened the event that I was hosting had those two property owners there, and we were able to do this, and he said, "Boy, this has been beneficial." So it's just things like that where we could provide those connections, make sure things are happening. Also to make our businesses aware, for them to be able to provide some of that support in this community and really roll out the red carpet.
Mm-hmm. And you represent the downtown waterfront business community. What are the benefits to having this festival come to this area?
I think it's to put the spotlight on our community as a whole, but also everything that we have in our downtown. When we talk about all of the synergy here, when we talk about having all of these theaters within just walking distance, it's really showcasing what our community has to offer. So it's not just thinking about the festival, it's what's beyond the festival when we look at perhaps shooting some of those episodes and programs.
Mm-hmm. And are people spending money in town?
We sure hope so.
Every indication is yes. Every indication.
And
is
Anna,
yes.
the hotel industry has really taken off in this city. What does that mean for a festival this size?
We're very fortunate to have the capacity to host this event as it exists today, which is the largest that they've seen. They came here to have the opportunity to grow.
Sure.
And we have, of course, tremendous capacity for years to come to let them continue to see that type of growth because we have a variety of properties. We have every type of lodging option that their attendees are seeking because it's very diverse and we're very fortunate to have that.
Mm-hmm. Have locals had an opportunity to get involved as volunteers or helping to make this all come together behind the scenes?
Absolutely. There's a tremendous volunteer base that was required. As you can imagine, with so many venues taking place, we need those bodies in place to serve as ambassadors. So we have volunteers starting at the airport to be the gateway and welcome to our community, as well as all the different venues and behind the scenes. There's been a tremendous amount of support from within the community.
And I think the community is still learning what this is.
Yeah.
So for them to see what's actually happening or for them to come down to one of the events, now it's becoming reality. Now they're like, oh, that's what this is about.
So how long have you been working in preparation of this festival? I mean, this is a long time in planning.
It's actually come together very quickly. We had about 13 months from start to finish, which
That's
is
quick.
not a great lead time, but it's really come together in the last 4 or 5 months, and that's when all of the pieces fell into place as far as really getting community to come together and again, creating the awareness, creating the broader understanding, and we
Sure.
feel like this is just the beginning. There's so much momentum behind this, and we're also really going to be assisting and moving forward with the legislature this year because it's going to take a lot of hands to get that done.
And during all of this planning, we didn't know for sure how far along would we be in our Superior Street reconstruction. So we're having to make these plans,
point, yeah.
not knowing are we going to be up to grade on the street, what are we going to have out there. So it's great that the crews were able to work with
Yeah.
us as they did.
And in terms of attendance, are the powerhouses in the industry, did they show up?
They are here, and we are so grateful to have this opportunity to conduct one big site inspection, not just for Duluth, but for our region. And I think it's really important, as much as I'd love to just focus on Duluth, this is really an opportunity for all of northeastern Minnesota into northwestern Wisconsin. You know, there aren't going to be boundaries when we start looking at opportunities for series to be possibly produced here from start to finish, and it really becomes a workforce development conversation, not just about, you know, the tourism side of things, because that's just the introduction to this whole process. And as we see people come here and see the surprise on their face, there's nothing more rewarding than to exceed someone's expectations. And that's really where these conversations are starting, because this is just the introduction of what really lies ahead.
Yeah.
You know, and Jeff and Dave had mentioned it's about the people, and so that truly is, when you think about what a strong workforce we have here, I think they're really
Yeah.
going to be amazed.
What about opportunities for local filmmakers? Are they lining up trying to get in front of the folks that can make some decisions?
Yeah, this is their chance. You know, this is that networking opportunity that they have to be able to showcase that, and to see you know, all of those individuals come together in one location. Even if it's just at after hours and not even realize who they are and be able to make those connections are real important.
I wish we had more time to chat. There's a lot of other questions we had, but we have to say goodbye. Thank you very much, Anna
Thank
and
you.
Christy. Thank you
Thank
so
you both.
kindly.
Thank you.
Thank you.